Are y'all ready? It's time. Woo! Good evening and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. I am so elated that you are here. Listen, I have been happy all day long because you already know that the best part of my day is when I get to connect with you all. And that just blesses me beyond what I can even express. So I am, let me create a word. I am happy glad. I am happy glad that we get an opportunity to be together on Moments with Mama Sue. Thank you for tuning in. And before we get in too deep, now go ahead and like and share and let somebody else know that we're on the air because we're going to have a phenomenal time tonight. I have an amazing artist that we're going to visit with, and I know it's going to bless you because it blesses me just to know her and have heard her wonderful testimony and her amazing voice, but we'll get into that in a little bit later. I want to shout out to everybody who is watching with us, to Janice and Elizabeth and everybody that's online. If it's your very first time watching Moments with Mama Sue, please let me know. Put it in the chat. Tell me your name and where you're watching from, and tell me it's your first time because I go back through the recording after it's over before I post it, and I look at all the comments. Yes, I do. I really do. I look at all the comments. And for those that are watching for the first time, I want to send along something to you from me that I hope will just brighten your day and let you know how excited I am that you made time in your busy schedule to spend some moments with me. That blesses me. We want to give a shout out to all of our WJIL.today listeners and watchers that watch via that platform. Moments with Mama Sue is in replay on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 a.m., 10 a.m., and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, some places in the world on www.wjil.today, Gospel Radio, Roku, and Firestick TV. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you for watching. And when you get an opportunity, slide into my DM and tell me how you're liking the show and how it's blessing you. I love hearing what you have to say about that. And then, of course, we want you to know that I am out here in these streets, y'all. I am trying to do everything that I can for the kingdom. So it's been a really busy time, but you can catch me sometimes live. In fact, this past weekend, we just had a wonderful Memory Lane concert that was featuring all those throwback hits with the West Texas chapter. I was a proud chapter rep. Have mercy. The children must have sung. We stirred up the gift. We we talked about how he was making a way for us. We asked him to make us better. All of those old hits. It was wonderful. We had a great time. And then tonight, of course, my featured guest on Moments with Mama Sue is Sonia Griffin. Oh, I can't hardly wait. Okay. And then the Southeast Senior Center. Now, listen, tomorrow, I usually go to the Southeast Senior Center, but tomorrow we're going to be at the Rockhounds game. Okay. So we won't be at the Senior Center, but if you're at the Rockhounds game, you might can sit down and have a hot dog and have a great time. That's where we'll be tomorrow. And then on the 18th, put it on your calendar, on May the 18th, we'll be doing something special in celebration of mothers. I know. Y'all gonna tell me Mother's Day is the week before that. I know. But mothers are so special, they deserve more than one day. How about that? And so I'm gonna see to it that they are celebrated more than one day. And the Midland Storytelling Festival will be having an afternoon program at 2:00 p.m. at the Midland Shared Spaces, 3500 North 8th Street here in Midland. And listen, wear your hats. Sometimes when they say celebration, they say hats off. We want your hats on. Put your chapeau on and come on to the program. If you're wearing a hat, you can be entered in a door prize. Oh, it's going to be a fabulous afternoon. We'll have stories from Sheila Wilcox, Mary Lou Cassidy, Barry Simpson, Laura Wolf, and yours truly. So, ladies and gentlemen, come on out that afternoon and enjoy an afternoon of wonderful stories in celebration of mothers. And if you are just looking for something that you can give to your mom, something unique that you would like for her to have, how about a perpetual calendar from yours truly, Thoughts from the Heart, with daily thoughts and inspirational quotes from me? Let's see what it said for today. It says, my grandmother always used to say, there are more ways to skin a cat than by choking them on butter. I have no clue who said it initially or how one entices a cat to ingest butter, but I'm forever reminded that there are many ways to approach a task. Keep working at it. All of these are inspirational quotes from yours truly. And so you can have a little Mama Sue. I call them Mama Sue-isms for every day, and it never runs out because there is no year. You can just keep flipping from day to day and enjoying different inspirational quotes. So if you'd like to have that, hit me up at www.sueroseberry.com and you can order merchandise from me. And then the last thing I want to make you aware of before we move forward is that you need to go to my website, www.sueroseberry.com, and make sure you're connected, because that is where you can read the most recent newsletter that I've created. And there are blogs there that are brand new for subscribers. And there's going to be something else coming up brand new that we're creating on the website just for Mama Sue's family subscribers. Things that we can do over there that we can't do over here because the social media police won't let us. But we'll be able to have more in-depth conversations and some exclusive things over there. So I want you to go there and get connected. Okay. So we're getting ready to bring our special guest on, and I want you to take this time now and go and tell everybody to hurry up and jump on so they can catch her, and then share this on your page so they can be watching. And we're going to talk to her right after this.
It's beyond entertainment. It's an experience. Book Mama Sue Roseberry today.
That is worthy. Woo! It's Mama Sue Roseberry, and welcome to Moments with Mama Sue. Listen, we are in the month of May, and I searched. I'm going to do like the song, searched all over. I was looking for a special guest to have on this program on tonight because we're celebrating mothers all month long. And I wanted to bring somebody who I thought would be a wonderful inspiration to mothers. So I'm going to add her to the stage at this time. She is a singer. She is a gospel recording artist. She is a worship leader. She is a mom, an extraordinary admin for her church, a teacher, a minister, just lots of things. Would you join me and give a Mama Sue's family welcome to Sonia Griffin?
Hey there. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am excellent. Thank you.
Well, you look wonderful.
I feel great. You do too. You look wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, we are so excited. I've been excited the whole time. I've been telling everybody. I told Robert Earl Dean, I said, Sonia is coming on Moments with Mama Sue.
And Robert Earl Dean is everybody's biggest supporters. Cheerleader. Yes.
He is. But he knows so many good people, and he knows everybody that's connected to gospel music, I believe, in California. I think
Amen. Amen. I agree.
Talk to us about how you got started singing. Where did that come from?
I'm told that I was singing since I was 4. We had a family church ran by a cousin of mine. And I was about 3 or 4 at the time. And my grandmother would make me sing, He's got the whole world in his hand every Sunday. And so this is what I'm told. And so then we left that church when I got a little older. We went to, it was a small church at the time called Double Rock in the city of Compton here in California. And then I was it just picked up from there. It's like everybody there knew that I could sing. My mom and dad, made sure everybody knew. And when I got there, they knew the pastor. When I got there, I was in the children's choir, went from the children's choir to youth choir, from youth choir to young. So it just went on and on and on. And as the church got larger, my exposure got larger. And so it just took off from there. And then Donald Taylor, which is over the LA Mass Choir, even as today, he just took a liking to me and everything that he did, every gig that he got, everything that he got, he would bring me along with him. And then when he formed LA Mass, I was one of the first that he called. So I mean, it just evolved from the age of 4 up until now. Yeah, and it's been a great journey.
Wow. Now, when you say you were singing, your grandmother was a singer?
She would tell you she is, but she wasn't. She's one of those start the song, you finish it. But on my mom's side of the family, it's a musical family. Now, my mom never sang, but her sister, she sang and played. Her mom played piano, and they had a group. I didn't really know them that well, but I was told that they had a group. And so my grandmother, which is on my mom's side, she was a musician, and so was her daughter. My mom kind of got missed out of that. So my mom never sang, but she made sure that I did. Yeah.
Oh boy. And now
Mm.
what was now being part of a community choir, a startup choir, community choir, that is so much fun for any of you
Mhm.
that are listening in
Yeah.
or watching. She was part of the famed LA Mass Choir, and you were there when it got started.
Yes, I was there when the idea we used to. So Donald Taylor had pulled us, and there was like small gigs that were coming along, and Donald would get a group of people together, and then he pull in some other singers from other churches and everything else. And we do this. I know we've done like Joan Baez. We've done a lot of artists that wanted choirs to back them up, and one of the producers came to him one day and says, you need to make this a choir. And Donald was like, oh, okay. And that's what we did. So he kept the people that, followed him and went on these gigs with him. And we came up with LA Mass Choir, Donald Taylor and the LA Mass Choir. Even at the time, what was funny is that because James Cleveland had the Los Angeles Mass Choir, and then we had the LA Mass Choir. So sometimes it would get mixed up. And so that's why we had to make sure we added the Donald Taylor and LA Mass Choir. So yeah, it just happened. They came to us and loved what we did, and we loved it too. And we were like, yeah, I'm on board too. Yeah. So that's how that happened.
Well, talk about some of the people who had inspiration to write for LA Mass, because that's one of the big things. If you got good music,
Yes.
Talk about
Yes.
some of those songwriters.
Yeah. So at the time, our very first CD, Tony Wilkins wrote the entire CD. Everything on there he wrote. And so that was a big hit, which probably was maybe one of our better albums. And I say albums because that's what it was at the time, albums, when Tony Wilkins wrote. And so he wrote everything. Everything was great. The second year, Tony Wilkins wrote a lot of the music. Then we brought in other artists, Quincy Fielding, he wrote, and Tony Wilkins and John Black co-wrote. They wrote together. That's When You Bless Me. That's where that came about during the second CD. And so really the bulk of the writing came from Tony, the first and the second. And then from there on, we started adding other writers to write. I know Brent Jones wrote one for David Daughtry. And that was pretty much it. Yeah. So we had a small group of writers. Everyone was close. I think Jeffrey Richardson wrote on one, the Star Bank, the Battle Hymn of Republic. That was on one of the CDs. And so after the first two, we just started reaching out and grabbing other writers, and it really worked out. We loved it. We loved it, especially the new music, because with other writers, you kind of get different fields of music. And so we liked it. We loved all of the writers. Tony, of course, will always be ours because he started with us. That'll always be my favorite. He started with us, and he is still writing, still doing his thing. Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, different areas of the country, if you know the mass choir era,
Yes.
every area had a sound.
Yes. Yes.
They
Yes.
had a sound, and there was definitely a sound that came from LA that was just not like what you would hear if you went to Georgia or if
Mhm.
you went to Florida
I
or
agree.
Dallas, because Dallas had DFW Mass. There are lots of mass choirs, Chicago, but
Yes.
the sound that came out of LA Math. And I have to say, part of that sound, you get tagged with helping to create that because your voice is like no other.
And someone actually, I maybe about a year ago, it may not even been that long, and they were like, that you can hear your sound in LA Mass, choir. I'm like, well, it was a lot of us singing. How it was just me? And they were like, you have such a unique voice. And I didn't realize that until, someone told me that, you, the altos sound like you. And I was like, oh no, because we had some good singers there. And so I just think that we all were able to mesh together our vocals and make one sound. And that was one of the things that Donald Taylor required, is that I don't care how many of it there are in whatever sections, we need to all sound like one. And so a lot of his teaching I use even today, even in the choirs that I teach. He was of course more stern. I'm more of a mama bear kind of person, but it sticks with me. Everything that he taught us sticks with me. So that sound and pronounce your words and project and pronunciate, it's like all of that I picked up from Donald. And so I was able to carry it into, the other things that I do. I'm teaching the youth, young adults, so all of that have come together. Little did I know back then that I would, because I was shy, very introverted. I'm still introverted. But still, I never knew that what he taught me, I would now be doing. I just never thought in a million years I'd be standing in front of people, teaching and directing, and even leading worship. Because and then going through all of that. I just never saw that coming. I just did not. Never.
You didn't see it in yourself,
right? I did not.
Others saw it in you. Who do you credit with being part of the hand of God in kind of pushing you on out there to do all of those things that you really didn't think you could do?
I give all that credit goes to Donald Taylor. He saw something in me when I was a teenager. And like I said, everything that he did, he made sure that I was involved in it. Even to this day, he will call and say, "What you're doing?" in me. And he even made sure that he rallied other people around to do the same thing, to push me, because he knew I wasn't going to do it myself. And because he was the one that saw in me what I'm doing today. He saw that a long time ago when I was a teenager. And I just really I can't credit anybody else but him. He took me and undergirded me, made sure that I had what I needed, knew the people that I needed to know. He made sure that I had the help that I needed to get out of the shy thing and start ministering. So he was the one, girl, and he doesn't take no for an answer at all. And so I could try to weasel my way out of something. He was like, Sonia, and he had this look on his face, you're going to do this. And this is what you're going to do. And this is how you're going to do it. That's just how he never yelled at me. And it was like that sternness in him that said, okay. And then what happens is when you find somebody that believes in you, then you start believing in yourself. And I was like, okay, let me see in me what he sees, that I can grow, because he's not going to always be with me. And I knew that even then, we're not going to always be together. There's some things I'm going to have to get out there and push myself to do. And that's what I started doing. And then people kept latching on to the fact that I can do solo by myself, that I wasn't just a choir, leader, that I can also get out there and do things on my own. And then I started getting solo gigs. And he was like, go for it. Because I would go to him and say, Donald, somebody called me to do this. He was like, well, go do it. And I was like, well, I just want to make sure you knew. He was like, you don't need me. Go do it. And that's what I started doing. And I mean, my God, the doors that have opened, I just can't even say thank you enough to Donald for seeing that and not being threatened by that, but pushing me into doing what he knew that I was called to do. And he knew it before I did.
Well, that was part of his assignment,
yes,
to develop you and so many others.
So many others.
Part of that LA Mass contingent, because what you have given to the world is music that will bless us always.
Praise the Lord.
Bless
Yeah.
us
And that's what I
always.
want. And that's what I want. I want anything that I sing to bless, even if it's somebody else's song. I want to be a blessing, even through someone else's creativity. And I just thank God that He's given me creativity as well. I was able to finally write or co-write on my own single, my very, and that was my very first time ever writing or even sitting down, putting words on a paper to do a song. Because someone else believed that I could do it, he was like, "No, you're gonna write on this too." And I was like, "Oh, okay. What do I write?" And then he started playing, and his ideas, and we put those ideas together, and we came up with "He's Almighty." The words for that, and I'm like, wow. So it's like now God is showing me that I can write. He just needs to show me the time that I to write. Give me time to write. But man, my hat's off to all writers. I used to think that they just sit down and start putting. Oh, it's not that simple. And so my hats are off to all writers. Y'all can have it. Just give me the song.
But it's so great when you get an opportunity to
Yeah.
sing something that comes out of your heart. But
Yeah.
truly, the way that you minister a song,
Hmm.
so incredible.
Thank
We're
you.
going to look at that in just a moment,
Okay.
right
Thank you.
after this. Let me see if I can find this and go to it so we can see that, and then we're going to hear you minister. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Miss Annie from way down south. She's loud, she's fun, but you'd better watch out. Put on your seatbelt and take the rollicking ride with the unpredictable Miss Annie as she whips and turns and drives straight into your heart. Own it today at www.sueroseberry.com. Woo, woo, woo. Absolutely.
I
Well,
like
you
that.
heard me talking about how Sonia is responsible in part for that sound that we hear and love so much. One song in particular has gone all over the world,
Mm.
all over the world. And it is so timeless. I was searching for the
Yeah.
word. I wanted to be say you can't even call that a throwback. It's so timeless.
Because it's still,
And
yeah.
it has never gone out of style.
Right. Right.
That
And that's such a blessing.
me.
Mm. Yes.
Tell us about that song in particular and how you came to lead it and what it means to you.
Okay. It means a lot because he could have chosen anybody and to do the song. And so we were in 2 hours recording our second CD, and something happened that we weren't able to use the songs that we had already rehearsed. And we were maybe just a month away from recording our second project. And so Donald came in, kind of gave us the information that that we would have to change the songs, and he called in some friends to help out with the second CD. And this particular song, John Black brought it in, and he taught us, and we immediately took to it. And Donald turned to me and said, "You're going to lead this song." And I did, even at the time, I didn't know the power behind the song. And then, but we gravitated to, you could have left me standing there with no one to care. So we gravitated to that, and everybody was kind of like, because I think we were probably going through our own struggles at the time. And thinking that, yeah, he could have left me in the middle of what I was going through, but he didn't. We didn't care that maybe we felt alone in it, but we knew that God was there. And so it was even a tugging at my heart at the time. Some of that stuff, just let it go, let it go, let it go. And then when we started to release ourselves from the troubles and the problems and all of the issues that we brought, and that Ann says, You could have left me standing there with no one to care. You promised me you'd be there on time, and you did just what you said. And my part of it was I gave it up and I let it go, and you did just what you said. And it took years for me to figure it out. And that's being very honest. And I think by the time that we actually recorded it, I figured it out. If I let all this stuff to bless me, but if I let all this stuff go, I can see the blessings. But we hold on to stuff so long that we don't even see that he's already delivered us or set us free from it because we're still holding on to it and we're not walking in it. I learned to walk in it. Let it go. Let him have it. Walk in it. He'll bless you because he'll do just what he said. Yes. And
That is
today,
so good. That is so good.
yeah.
I'm going to try to share my screen. Now, y'all know how I am. Me and technology, sometimes we don't get along, but I'm going to try to share my screen and play a rendition of her singing That's When You Blessed Me. Here we go.
My life was torn beyond repair. Felt so alone.
See what I'm talking about? The YouTube police.
You came along, gave me a song to ease the pain. And erase the strain you
Well, I'm not going to keep going because the YouTube police won't let me be great. I'm going to try to grab on my screen and everything.
Oh, it's
But
okay.
I just want y'all to hear a little bit of that because it is so incredible.
Thank you.
Sonia, you say you're an alto, but I'm going to promise you that song is not in the alto range. What in the world?
I know, and I'm always teased about that. I always talk about altos or lazy sopranos, and then I'm talking about me.
Lazy soprano.
Alto section. But I tease, but I always joke on my choir. I say, okay, anytime I have to teach soprano parts, I say I'm going to teach twice because I only got one more in me to scream. But God really, because I did go to alto because there was this sort of point in my life. I had nodules. They had diagnosed. Ended up going to alto because doctor said, "You want you to take a vocal rest?" I was like, "I don't want to take a vocal rest." And then in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, if I just go to alto, it'll be better." Then you know how you just get complacent, and so I just got complacent in doing alto, and I stayed in alto and that had to have been in 90, 91 or 92, somewhere around there, and I converted myself to alto. To an alto. And so I rock with that, that I'm an alto, but anytime I sing, it's just the soprano in me comes out. It comes out. And yeah, I just need to nurture that some more. Yeah.
Indeed, because that range, I'm going to tell you, I have tried to squawk up on that, and I said I had to come on back down. Come on down, Nelly. Come on down.
Right. Yeah. There are times when I'll be like, in my mind, I'm up there singing and even singing That's When You Bless Me. And it's like, ooh, you just thinking where these notes about to go. And I'm like, Lord, you're going to have to take me there because right now I don't see it. I don't see it. But he comes through for me all the time. All the time. Yes.
He does. Well,
yes.
What is, if you could sing with anybody, if you could do a duet with anybody, who would that be?
Tasha Cobb Leonard. I want to sing with her so bad. And then sometimes I just say, if I can just do background with her, I'll be fine. Yes. My all-time favorite, though, unfortunately, she passed on, but Aretha Franklin has done something with her. But if I was to talk current, it would be Tasha Cobb Leonard. Yes.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, from your mouth to God's ears, it
Amen.
can happen because you have collaborated with some of everybody. You sang on Norman Hutchins'
Yes.
recording. You
Yes.
not be trolling. I'll be going through doing my little research. I'll be doing my little research.
It's
Yes.
good. It's good that you do, because my daughter always gets on me. She said, "Mom, you don't ever tell anybody the stuff you do." I just met Maureen Clark Brown this weekend, and she says, my daughter jumps in the conversation. She was like, "Now you don't know, but this is the one that led. That's when you blessed me." And she said, and so and she was like, my daughter was like, well, she wouldn't have told you, so you needed to know.
Well, that is a perfect segue
Yes,
to getting to talk about some of the wonderful things that has happened to you as a result of being a parent to two phenomenal children. And we
yes.
are going to visit about that right after this.
Oh,
Advertise with us and let Mama Sue's family know what you've got going on. Email us at msroscbe2 at gmail.com.
mhm.
If you just joined us, then you haven't heard this wonderful artist that I have with me tonight, but her name is Sonia Griffin, and Sonia hails from the great state of California.
California.
She's a vocalist, an artist, admin, teacher, minister, worship leader, so many things, a writer, songwriter, so many
Yeah.
things, but she's also a phenomenal mother. Sonia, tell us about those two heartbeats.
Oh, and they to my mom. My mother was probably the best mom that anybody could ever have. And so everything that I've learned as far as parenting have come from her. And so I have two wonderful children. My son is 32 and my daughter is now 21. And they are definitely um, the apple of my eye. My son is autistic, and so that in itself has been a journey, raising an autistic son by yourself. But I do have a great village as well. And then, of course, my daughter Ebony, in her now going to be a senior at Xavier University.
Wow.
She's home for the summer, praise the Lord. And when she goes back, she'll be a senior at Xavier University. And I would have to say, my daughter has never, I can use the word never, given me trouble at all. God knew what I needed, raising this autistic son who was, all over the spectrum, to this leader of a daughter that I have. He balanced it out. And I'm so proud of both of my children. My son, autism, I can't imagine what they go through mentally. But I know, as far as those of us who are caregivers and parents of autistic kids, we watch that and we kind of have to guide them to where they need to be. And I thank God for the son that he gave me, because it did not interrupt my ministry. I was able to, even today, he goes along with me pretty much everywhere I go, and he's well behaved. Was it always like that? No, I had to teach him. And the good thing about it is that the one thing about autistic kids, or people, period, is that showing them something, as long as you're consistent, they'll be consistent. And so that's what we did. We went through consistency, even, teaching him how to calm down, teaching him when to do and when not to do things. And, just kind of showing him through life, and guiding him through his growing up. And teaching him everything that I knew to teach him and how to teach him. it works out for us. It works out. He's traveled with me. He knows how to sit down while I sing. You would say at 32 they should, but I know some 32-year-olds and some older that don't know how to sit by themselves, that cannot take care of themselves. And so even in the midst of him being diagnosed, I didn't take time to be, why is it me? Why me? Why me? I took time to say, it's just me and you, dude. We got to figure this out. And so, yes, we came through this journey. He is now so independent. But it didn't always be like that. It was nobody but God that helped that. And then when my daughter came along, she bossy. She still is. She bosses me. He's bossy. And so he followed whatever she told him to do. He did it. Even when she was 4 or 5 years old. If she say sit down, he sat down. And someone just told me just Sunday that they were, that they remember watching me and my kids when we got to Friendship. And she said, and your daughter had to have been 4 or 5, making him sit down and making him be quiet. And they saw all of this that she was doing. Yes, yes. And so even to this day, he knows what to do, when not to. And even if I just look at him, he knows to calm down. If I put my hand on his leg to calm him down, he calms down. So it's just things that we've learned, and we've been together all these years, and so I know everything about him, and, and he knows me. He knows when I'm frustrated. He knows when we need to be quiet. I know when he's frustrated. And so we work together, and God made it work out. God made it work out. And then because my daughter, helping around every time she comes home. And when she comes home, she takes over. So I get a chance to relax. She even takes over my rehearsals. She'll start teaching. She will start directing. She will start giving notes. She does it all. And that's what I pray for. I pray for that. And she is everything that I pray for.
Ah, that is amazing. And it's so incredible to see how God will even take the children that you give life to,
yes,
to help break other things off of
yes,
you.
Right.
What did
Right.
God use your children to help break off of you?
Yeah. So my son I had out of wedlock. When I found out that I was pregnant, when you talk about breakoffs, I wasn't living a whole pure life. I wasn't that one at the time. I used to love going out. I used to love hanging out. When I found out I was pregnant with him, didn't know it was a boy or girl at the time. When I found out I was pregnant, things just came to an abrupt stop for me. I didn't have to think about nothing. I just said, look, this is my baby and I got to raise this kid. There's some things I don't want him to see or ever have to experience. And so therefore things just start breaking off then. Just some of the, running, how they used to say buck wild. That was me. Because I had my freedom. I had my own little place. I had my own car, my own job, everything I had. I got it. And so I knew how to survive. And so, we just went all out and over. And then when I had him, I calmed down a lot. And then God started to really, I'm not going to say revealing because he had been doing that anyway, but I started to recognize God in my life during my time of rest and pulling back on things and things like that. And so I would say that for him. Now for my daughter, by the time she came along, things were already kind of broke off. So I was kind of living a good life spiritually and mentally and vocally and ministry wise. But one of the things that I had to recognize that I needed to make sure that she saw in me is that no matter what, I am still a woman and I am still a lady. And she can never, ever tell you that she's heard me cuss nobody out. She can never, ever tell you that saw me with a bunch of guys and all that. She cannot tell you that story because I made sure that the way I wanted her to grow up, I had to show her that. And I couldn't be sneaking around doing this and, drinking in front of her, smoking and all that other stuff. I could not do that. That's not what I wanted her to be. And so the bad stuff that I used to do and before my son, she never ever got to see that. And I wanted her to see what a woman of God is. And I pray that that's what she sees. And I don't want to be singing one thing and living another way. I don't want to do that. That's hard.
That
I don't
is
want
hard.
that. Yeah.
And I also believe that sometimes our children motivate us to be our best self. Like that's what you're speaking of, to be the model for her that you want her to be.
Yes.
You see it. And even if if I thought I couldn't reach it, I'm going to try to reach it for her so she can see that as a model.
Yeah. And that's her. She's always trying to push me the extra mile. Always. She'll say, she'll say, Mom, when I get home, we're gonna make sure we do this and do that and the other. And she comes through and I can see it in her mind. She's working it, trying to map it out. And not do. And she'll always say she's my biggest encourager, because we talk like we're friends. And I told her, I said on her 21st birthday, she just turned 21 in April. I said, I'm gifting you now that you can be my best friend. Because before, when she was smaller, she was all, you're my best friend. I was like, no, I can't be your best friend. Not now. I have to be your mom. And that's what I told her when the day she turned 21. I said, I'm gifting you now. I can be your best friend now. And I'm telling you the stories that we share and that we have shared and things that a child probably wouldn't tell their parent. She makes sure I know. You're not going to whoop me, are you? No, I want to hear, but I need you to know that there are consequences for things that we do wrong. And we, worked our way through that. She and I have never had an argument. We've had disagreements, but the thing along the way, I taught her how to fight your battles quietly. You don't have to yell. You don't have to cuss nobody out. All you have to do is sit down and talk to them. And now that's how we do. Yes, we can talk. We're not yelling. We're just talking. And that's what we do. And so I taught her that in order to get your way in life, it's not yelling at people. It's not disrespecting. It's making sure that they respect you. You can get anywhere by respect. And she's mastered that. Yes, mastered that.
Communication is key. I follow you on Facebook and on social media, and she always posts y'all about when Ebony is going back to school after she been home for the summer. And then I go into prayer for her because I said, oh Lord,
I need it.
She finna go prostrate because fall out because her baby is gone.
And I was like, I cursed the ones who told me it was going to get easier. It hasn't gotten easier yet. We're in third year and it hasn't gotten easier yet. So when she's gone, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But she's doing so great. I am so proud of her and how she's handled college. Yes.
Yeah, she's walking through it. But listen, what would you tell someone who has been in the trenches of artistry like you have for so many years? Because sometimes people feel like they're looked over or people are not really recognizing what they can do. What would you tell that person about their artistry and how you learn to wait on the Lord?
First thing I'll say, if you don't believe in yourself, a lot of people will come along to help you believe that you don't believe in yourself. As you talk about even feeling left out and sometimes even feeling, less than, because I did not have the confidence in myself at the time. What the Lord had to do for me is sit me down, and I'll never forget this night, sat me down and ran across my memory every single engagement that I had. Every single engagement. And I said, well, if people think that I'm not worthy of being a soloist, why do I have so many engagements? And I'm telling you, the Lord had to send that. I have to, even to this day, I have to turn down things. There were sometimes I felt like that I had to take everything. So I was doing 3 and 4 engagements in one day. And then, so all of that didn't make sense. If people are telling me that I can't sing, if people are telling me that I can't go to the next level, then why am I going to the next level? Why is it that nobody is that I'm in everybody's program? Why is it that people are still calling me and I have to say no? It just didn't make sense to me. And so I was praying. I said, Lord, thank you for showing me this. And then he showed me how I was allowing people to orchestrate my journey. And he reminded me that he put me on this path, not those people, not those naysayers. And I had to get to the point where I have to say, only what you do for Christ will last. That's the absolute truth. Because God moves people to put you in positions. And God told me one time so vividly, about taking the credit for where I'm about to take you. And I have tried managers, I have tried friends, I have tried all that to help me get to the next level. And God was always saying, I don't want anybody taking credit for where I'm about to take you. And to this day, I can give Donald Taylor credit for where he started. Donald don't care about taking credit. Donald cares about where my journey is headed. And so I've learned for Christ. I have to do this for God. If I do it for man, it will fail every time. And so I pray, Lord, when people invite me to their programs, let me give them what they want, but God, let them see you in me as I give them what they want. And he always, someone asked me the other day, am I ever nervous? I'm like, yeah, because I don't know what God gonna do when I get up there. Yes, I'm nervous. I know that he's not going to embarrass me, but I never know what he's going to try to get me to do when I'm on that stage. And so many times it's been ministering and sometimes not even singing. Never thought that I would be talking. I thought that I was just going to be up there singing, and never thought that I would have to enlighten a crowd about who God is. Never thought that was me. I thought that people would do that and then I get up and sing. No, now I'm charged with doing it all. And so those are the things that I've learned. And so if anybody asks me, what is it that makes me now not care about being seen, not care about being the first, not care about, I would have to say, because I do this for God, he's going to put me where he wants me to be. Any engagement that I have not gotten, I say it's because I wasn't supposed to be there. That only God can do it. And so that's the thing that keeps me from, because Mama Sue, in this industry, even off of the questions that you ask, you've probably experienced all of that.
Oh yeah.
And you've been on TV, you've been on Sunday's Best, you've been, you won competitions, none of that, but you still get it. And we have to remember, we're working for the Lord, but the devil still has a place too. He's out there to kill, steal, and destroy. And if we allow him to do that, he will go on and do it through people and through other circumstances. He'll use people. And I refuse to allow anybody to interrupt the plan that God has for my life.
That is so good, y'all. If you just tuned in, I am talking to the one and only, the only one, Miss Sonia Griffin. And I got to put this up on the screen so you all can see it, how you can follow her, because she is somebody in the kingdom. Follow Sonia.
Isn't that nice, Mama Sue? Let me tell you. I said, this is so nice. I definitely love it.
Yeah, you can follow her on Facebook and on Instagram, and her music is available on all digital outlets. She has a single, and I would play it for y'all, but y'all know the social media police won't let me. So I need you to go to the digital outlets and download it. I need you to download Praise Him. Oh, it's good. And then download her CD. It's a full CD. It has 17 tracks on there. I own it myself. I've downloaded it myself.
Thank you.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time. Oh, it is so good, y'all. There is so much music on there for you to enjoy that Aaron Richardson presents, Sonia Griffin singing that.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that it was out for a long time. And then I said, what? Sonia got a whole CD? Ain't nobody told me nothing.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was going through the other day, it maybe probably about a month ago, and I was like, I forgot that I did Kevin Henderson, and I've done some for under Norman Hutchins, and so it's like a lot of stuff out there. And of course, LA Mass, of course, but it's a lot of stuff. And I was like, I didn't realize I've done this much. I really just didn't.
If you just Google yourself, just put your name in the search engine, all
Yes,
of this stuff comes up. All of these YouTubes with you singing over here, doing a little bit of this over at Spirit of Love Church at
yes,
a Thanksgiving banquet or a
yes.
breakfast or
Oh
singing
wow.
over all kind of stuff. Just
Yeah.
Google her and you will find it. But I definitely want you to follow her, and I want you to get on her social media
Thank you.
that is out there. I want you to follow her on Facebook and Instagram, because it's not all about the likes and the followers, but it is about having an opportunity to share this ministry that
Yes.
we are so passionate about.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to wrap up here in just a minute. But before we go, since we can't do what the social media police won't let us do, I'm going to do an exclusive for Moments with Mama Sue. I want you to think about a little piece of a hymn or a verse of a song or something that you can share with us. And when we come back to you in just a second, we're going to hear that.
Okay.
Okay. So for
Okay.
now, for everybody that's listening, I have been blessed to have the incomparable Sonia Griffin
Thank
on
you.
Moments with Mama Sue. Y'all, it don't get better than that. It don't
Yeah.
get better than that. I don't know. Wendy Williams, whoever it is, The View, Real Talk, whoever
Hmm.
it is, whatever show they got, Oprah, Gayle King, whoever it is, they don't have better artists on their program than I do on Moments with Mama Sue. So I am so honored that she is here. And I need you guys to stay connected. So go to my website, connect, and become a subscriber. Become a subscriber. There's a paid plan there if you can. I would love that, because it allows me to do more and better. I have to have all kind of apparatus. Those of you who can see in my glasses, you can see the ring light on my desktop where I'm trying to have all of this different kind of stuff just so that I can do more and better. You may not be able to see my microphone in the screen, but can y'all see the mic stand? I had to buy all this kind of equipment and mixers and cameras, and trying to do what I do at a level of professionalism that will bless others. That's my desire, not to be so grand that, I have outgrown my britches, but so that I will be able to offer something that will be beneficial to the people of the Lord. So now I want you all to hear Sonia.
I'll start at this verse. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is his faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies. All I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, to me.
Woo! He's faithful, y'all.
Yes, he is.
He's faithful.
Yes, he is.
Now that just blessed me so good. And I'm going to have to hurry up and get off of here before I start chunking something. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. That's one of my favorite hymns. That is my favorite.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the spirit of humility that is on your life. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your godly ministry and example, your uncompromising desire to
Thank you,
please
Jesus.
the Lord and be a vessel that He can use.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me. You could have had anybody else, but you chose little old me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm going to wrap up, but hang out with me until we put this in the archives of the
Okay.
Moments with Mama Sue uh, episodes. But thank you so much. They're
Thank
saying
you.
thank you, Miss Sonia.
Thank
Glory to
you.
God. Ooh, Lori says thank you for being a
Thank you
special guest
all.
on Moments with Mama Sue. He is faithful.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Listen, God is up to something. And I appreciate you all so very much. So I'm going to ask you to be sure to go over and like and follow what we have going on social media. Click that little bell so you'll get all of the alerts when we're doing something. And if you want to be able to support what we have going on, you can do that via Cash App at $Sue Roseberry. And if Cash App is not your thing, because you know we on these digital platforms, sometimes we say, child, I ain't putting my money on no Cash App. Well, maybe it's Venmo. If it's Venmo, there you go at Sue-Roseberry-1. And if none of those gives you a warm fuzzy, you don't like Cash App, you don't like Venmo, you can even just mail a good old check to P.O. Box 51422, Midland, Texas 79710. And if you can't do any of those things, will you pray for me? Will you pray that God will be glorified, that His name will be magnified, and that His people will be edified? I love you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Moments with Mama Sue. Mm-hmm. Woo. Now that's what I call a great show. Woo. We out of here.
Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments.
Now we can do it a little better than that.
Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments.
Well, all right, come on with it.
Moments with Mama Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments.
Wait.
Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments with Mama Sue.
Never know what to expect.
Hey. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Ow. Moments with Mama Sue. Ow. Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Yeah. Moments with Mama Sue.
Can't you?
Moments with Mama Sue. Moments. Oh.
Well, now we might be done a little bit too much.